Hey guys, Pelican here. So as promised, I'll be sharing my build for my Sorcerer Ganker. I'll start off by going through the sets and then I will do a quick guide on how to perform the Gank combo properly. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So for my sets, I'm running 2-piece Endowments, 5-piece Tarnished Nightmare, and 5-piece Coral Riptide. Tarnished Nightmare, I'm sure all of you are familiar with. It's a very annoying and powerful proc set. All you need is crit damage to proc it, and it's AoE as well. Crits for around 4 to 6k depending on your target. And it also applies the Sundered status effect, which is around another 1k damage. And also gives you 100 weapon damage and 3k pen on your enemy. Minor Breach, yeah. The other proc set is Endowments. This has a much higher 2-tip than Tarnished, as you can see. But the armor reduction for this doesn't really matter because this proc usually lands last in your combo. What's important is the damage. It hits really hard. I've seen it crit for over 10k. And you proc this off a fully charged heavy. So this is also a guaranteed proc. And for my other 5-piece, I'm running a stat set, which is Perfected Coral Riptide. This can be a bit annoying to proc for some people because you need to keep your stam very low, below 33%. And since we only have like 15k stam, you need to like keep it below 5k. Actually, even lower than that, you need to keep it like around 20% because once you heavy attack, you will restore some of your stam back. So ideally try to keep it around 20%. But if you're uncomfortable with playing the stamina mini game, or if you just don't want to farm this set because honestly it's quite annoying to farm. If you're a PvEer, you'll probably have it already. If you want to replace this, definitely run 5-piece Shattered Fate. It's a very it's probably the second best and it's crafted as well. Honestly, I had a hard time deciding between Coral and Shattered Fate, but eventually I ran Coral instead. Just take note, if you're running Shattered Fate instead of Lover Stone, make sure to run Shadow because you'll definitely have enough pen. For my last set, I'm running Vade 2-hand back bar. This is completely optional. It's not needed at all. The only reason I run this is because sometimes, well, actually most of the time, I get stuck in combat. So if you're stuck in combat, casting momentum will actually proc this, and you just get more weapon damage. Of course, the proc is useful as well. Also procs off of heavy attack, but this only works in melee range, so this is primarily a range ganker. So if you do not have this, don't worry, just run any random 2-hand. And now I'll go through my enchants and traits. So for my traits, I'm running all divines, the most damage you have. Running 3 infused, all weapon damage. For my armor, I'm just running all max magicka. For my bow, I'm running Sharpen with a charged enchantment. And for my 2-hand, it honestly doesn't really matter. I didn't even bother specializing for this build. And for my armor traits, I'm running 6 medium, 1 light. I wanted to go 2 light, but I just didn't have the light shoulders unlocked. So you can go 2 light as well. But yeah, either one of these will work. So now let's go through my skill setup. So for my front bar, I'm running Bound Aegis, Endless Fury, Silver Boats, Crystal Weapon, Camo Hunter, and Dawnbreaker. Bound Aegis will give you, well, actually take note that any Sorc ability you slot will give you 2% weapon damage. So try to have as many of those front bar as possible so that you have more damage. But yeah, Bound Aegis gives you that, and it also gives you 8% more mag, so there's even more damage to your abilities. My next 2 skills are Endless Fury and Silver Boats. Now originally I was using Silver Boats to gank from range, but eventually I decided to use Endless Fury instead because I realized it actually tends to do way more damage since my gank combo already usually brings people down below 20%, so Endless Fury will pretty much guarantee a kill. So I started using Endless more than Silver Boats, but you can still use Silver Boats to gank. Make sure you run the unmorphed version. You might look weird, but actually the unmorphed version as you can see, it has a higher 2-tip than the than the morph version, so run the unmorph version. And Fighter's Guild ability also gives you 3% weapon damage slotted, so it's really useful. Now this is the most important skill, Crystal Weapon. This will be your pre-cast, so you will cast this before every combo. It hits really hard and you will proc off your heavy attack. This will also be the first skill to land in the combo, and it will also reduce your target's resistance by 1k, so it helps a bit as well. Finally, I have Camo Hunter. This is mainly slotted for the crit chance as well as the weapon damage passive. But if you hit someone from behind, you also get minor berserk, which is also more damage. Finally, I have Dawnbreaker. This is slotted for, again, weapon damage, but if you are in melee range instead of well, if you are close enough to the enemy, instead of Silver Bolts or Endless Fury, you can cast Dawnbreaker instead. It will do a lot more damage. And you also tend to get collaterals with it, because Tarnished Nightmare is also an AoE proc. For my back bar, I'm running Channel Acceleration, Ball of Lightning, Forward Momentum, Healing Soul, Simmering Frenzy, and Barrier. Channel Acceleration, this will just give you your speed and your minor force. Ball of Lightning, I use this to escape every time I finish a gank. It's really useful. Forward Momentum, this will give you your major brutality, and I'm also using this to drain my stamina for the Coral Riptide set. Healing Soul, this is just my heal. Sometimes I drop a bit low due to taking damage after a gank or from Simmering Frenzy, so this will really help. I put the sustain scripts on this as well to help with my sustain. Finally, Simmering Frenzy, this will be the first thing you cast in any combo. You can cast this and then wait for it to stack higher for more damage. The HP cost isn't really much, especially since you'll be using a potion that restores HP right before you land your combo. Ultimate doesn't matter, I just slotted Barrier for more mag regen. So that's all for my skills. I'll just be going through the rest of the stuff now. For my attributes, I'm just running all into mag for maximum damage. For my mundus, I'm running Lover because honestly Pen is like the only stat I'm lacking right now. I'm also a stage 4 vamp. Stage 4 vamp is necessary on this because you're a Sorc, not a Nightblade. You don't have cloak spam, so you have to rely on stealth to stay hidden before a gank. And for my food, I'm just running Artarian Pickled Fishbowl, max health and mag. If you want to go even more damage, you can just run purely mag food, but I prefer to have a bit more HP as well, so I can actually kind of survive some situations. And of course, for my race, I'm a Khajiit. Khajiit is the most damage, gives you 12% crit damage. It honestly doesn't really matter what race you are, since this build does so much damage. At the start, I was actually ganking on a Breton, and it still hit really hard. So I think as long as you are like a high elf, dark elf, or a Khajiit, you'll be perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter your race. But yeah, I just race changed to Khajiit to maximize the effectiveness. So that's all for the build. Well, actually, I'll go through my champion points setup now. So for the blue tree, I'm running Wrathful Strikes, Master at Arms, Deadly Aim, Fighting Finesse. This is just the highest damage setup you can get. And actually, you can run Backstabber instead of Wrathful Strikes if you want. It's actually technically more damage, but you have to be behind your opponent for this to work. The red tree doesn't really matter in my opinion. I think the important ones are Celerity. Yeah, actually that's really the only important one, Celerity. For movement speed, I have Shrew of the Hunt to give me major expedition after I kill someone, so I can get away easily. And I just have Boundless Vitality for more health, and Bastion. Bastion is actually useful as well because it will make ganking people with damage shields easier, like Max Sorcs or Arcanists, since you will do more damage to their shields. And for the green CP, just make sure you have Sustaining Shadows so that you can sneak with a lower cost. And also this passive, so you're less likely to get detected while sneaking. Alright, so that's all for the build. Oh yeah, for my potions, I'm also using I'm just using the standard alliance port invis, but honestly any invis ports will work. So now I'll be demonstrating the Gank combo. First thing you want to do is to buff up and get your stamina low if you're using Horror. You can do this by sticking around or spamming forward momentum. Then you cast Simmering Frenzy, and once you're ready to gank, you need to cast your crystal weapon and immediately use your potion. Then do a full heavy followed by Endless Fury or Silver Boots. And that's pretty much your gank combo. Now I do have a variation for ganking in melee range, and that involves slotting the scribing skill, Fiery Contingency. Now this is optional, this will only work in melee range, but basically if you feel like your target is too tanky to just take down with the usual combo, you can use this instead. I use an add-on to quick swap between the two abilities. So for this combo, it's pretty much the same, except after crystal weapon, you will cast contingency first before going into stealth. So yes, this does leave you exposed for longer. It's riskier, but it's also more damage. So I'll demonstrate it. Cast crystal, contingency, then you use your E-move. And then you gank. And after that, just run away. So yeah, that's pretty much the combo for with contingency. Now I use a class mastery because I actually tested Warrior's opportunity, and most of the time it didn't really apply because Fiery Contingency usually lands last in your combo. So I swapped to class mastery instead. But if you don't have that, you can just run Warrior's opportunity instead, which will buff any follow-up attacks you do. So yeah, that's all for the combo. So that's all for the video. I hope you guys have fun with the build. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.